Hey, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
Well, Just Morgan, she had other things to do, so Dan and I decided, now my internet is messing up.
Today's the day for internet to mess up.
You would think that Ed would mess up where he is, but it's out.
You would think so, since I'm on a tin can and fishing line down here.
All right, let's do it again. Hey, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
Man, we love this guy, and we're finally reeling him in Tifton, there with his goats behind him. If you're watching Zoom, it's comedian Ed Wiley. Ed, what's up?
Hey, guys. What's going on up there in the metro Atlanta area?
Well, we are all, we're socially isolated, which I'm assuming that you are as well. Looks like you have company there in your home studio. It looks like, what is that, Larry, Moe, and Curly? Or
I think that's Gilbert. Gilbert right there. Henry on this side. I can't ever get this right.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the other one is. I don't know the names. I barely know the names of my own children, much less. I really don't recommend going into a pandemic with dozens of goats to feed.
Probably not a good idea.
That's a bad idea.
Ed Wiley and his family, very, very precious. Now, let's get into what's going on. Now, here in Atlanta, we are, as I mentioned earlier, not only social distancing, but we are in our home studios and doing work. You guys down there, the population, you don't have the population we have here. What's going on there as far as
we're emotionally distancing. We're emotionally distancing. This is no, we're definitely socially distancing. I have some friends who are missionaries in Wuhan, China, so I've been kind of paying attention to this. And then we live an hour from Albany, Georgia, which is a hot spot. It's it's where I grew up. My mom still lives there. It's like where they have more cases per capita than New York right now, which is crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it's really crazy. So we're an hour from there. We're kind of out in the country here, homeschooling. Our little kids don't know anything is different. They're just like, okay, so we don't leave the house again? That's right, sweetie. We don't leave the house again.
There's life outside of our house? I didn't know.
We saw a car drive by, Mama.
They probably get excited when you load them in the van and go to Piggly Wiggly, right?
Yes, or Harvey's Supermarket, one of the two. But we haven't been doing that. We did a pickup, Walmart pickup. We did that, and then there's been like a steady stream of Amazon and Walmart.com packages coming to the house.
Yep.
It's kind of weird. It's like we're in a compound a little bit, because we're out in I guess we've always been that way, but whatever. It's just official now. We're truly a compound now that we don't leave the house.
Ed Wiley on Zoom and on the radio here on Faith Talk Live. Ed, all right, now what about your shows? You're a farmer.
I'm sorry, my what?
Your show.
I'm sorry, what was that? What was it? My shows. What are those? I don't know what those are. There's no comedy. The closest we've gotten to comedy is me calling one of my friends' moms as Trump. My friend's mom, I called her as Trump and said, you need to stay in the house because if you leave the house, then that's very bad. You need to adhere to the guidelines. They tell me I do a very good job with the guidelines, guiding the lines. That's as close as I've gotten. It was the most fun I had. It brought her a little joy, doing that.
That could be a part-time business. You could,
calling people as Trump. That's a great idea.
I've done it as Biden. I've done it as Biden, Bernie, and Trump. I basically put on my personal Facebook, hey, if just let me DM me with whether your parents are liberal or conservative, and I will call them as Biden or Trump and tell them to stay the heck in the house.
So what would the Biden message sound like?
Well, I remember when they first built houses, and we've been staying on them, and that's my time. Basically, Biden is like Jimmy Stewart if he forgot all his lines. No offense, Jimmy, but that's how you do a Biden impression.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, man.
Now we've heard you do so many impressions. Give us I think we've heard Bernie for us now. I know he's gone, but just give us a Bernie.
Oh, Bernie Sanders?
Yeah.
Well, in this coronavirus, we need to be sure that we're staying under a rock. or some kind of coverage that is low cost and available to all Americans. And so right now, since we don't have any money, we just go under a rock. We live there.
Free rocks for everybody.
Free rocks. That's about all we got. It's a weird time to do comedy. All comedy is remember when comedy. Remember when we went outside? Remember when we ate Mexican? Remember? Yes. It's a weird time. What do you guys do? How's your radio career going, guys? Let's talk about that for a minute.
Well, it actually died about what, Dan?
30 years ago. Yes.
I know it's got to be bad if you're calling me. I know that's like bottom of the barrel. You're like, gosh, what do we do, guys? I don't know. Let's call the guy in South Georgia.
Well, we really wanted the goats, but we thought, okay, well, we got to have Ed along with the goats too. So
you're kind of the gatekeeper into the goats. But you know,
my goodness.
I mean,
I'll take it.
For us, I mean, obviously we love being on the radio, but with the here where we are in our home studios, separated, this Zoom thing is the rage. I mean, everybody's doing it.
Yeah. It's a Zoom boom, would you say?
A Zoom boom. I like that.
It's a Zoom boom. You know, there's a lot of things booming. Boomers are booming. They're driving around acting like nothing's going on. But I think boomers need to be like good Texans. Hold up into Alamo like COVID cowboys. Singing, "Oh, my darling, quarantine." Get in the house.
Oh, Ed Wiley. Oh my goodness.
Ed Wiley. All right, Ed. When we're through all this, where can folks see you? I mean, where can they?
Well, that'll be 2090. So I'll be at the Quail Pines Nursing Home. You can see me there. Everything. I'm talking like. And this is every comedian I know in the whole country, and it doesn't matter where they work. If they work in clubs or churches or cruises, I mean, God forbid you work in cruises right now. It's like so much is up in the air. So not to take. I don't want to bring the energy any lower than I already have just with my general presence. Can you go lower energy than global pandemic? Imagine comedy so bad that you lower it from that. But it's like, I mean, 100 days of work, 100 days out. I hear people saying they don't have anything.
Yeah.
It's been moved to next year, because bookers are scrambling. So I have a lot of empathy for them. And then they're like, hey, go watch my Comedy Buddies Amazon Prime video. But I'm asking people to do that who don't have any money right now.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I mean, I was talking to a buddy of mine recently. He said, times like this, you either are going to become a nihilist or you're going to run to God. You're going to run to the cross.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it comes down to. God's stripping all our idols away. Whether you're a believer or not, if you have things in your life that you're clinging to for hope, they're being stripped away, which is in some ways that brings a lot of peace as a Christian. You're left with nothing but Christ to run to. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people hurting. I'm going to try to keep writing jokes desperately, but it's hard. It's harder than normal. I'm less funny than normal, which is pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
Well, we think you're funny, Ed. And before we started recording here, you were telling us about a joke that came to you. Hopefully you can share it because I thought it was hilarious, about pastors in churches and how they're doing stuff online now.
Yeah, I just said we need to pray for pastors, as they're preparing for this Sunday's live stream so that, won't look like a Bin Laden video. It's rough out there. I mean, some of these pastors are really struggling, so they've never had to do it.
Yeah. They're preaching in front of empty congregations and trying to keep up the energy and everything. That's got to be hard.
Yeah, and doing this drive-in church, which that is something. You're like, like I don't know. It's a terrible joke. But
oh, come on.
We don't need to do drive-in church. Somebody's going to be making out in the back. That's what's going to happen. Somebody's going to drive in late. It's they're going to be watching Tiger King on their phone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
No,
Ed Wiley, comedian on Zoom and on the radio. Ed, give the folks your stuff that they can follow you, watch you. I'm sure you're doing stuff online while you're there tending goats.
I'm doing some. I'm actually trying to share a lot of other people's content right now. So if you go to my comedy page on Facebook, that's where I have the biggest following. Facebook.com/Ed Wiley Comedy. Ed Wiley Comedy on Instagram and Ed Wiley on Twitter. I'd love for you to follow me. And I promise I will either share or produce stuff that's at least marginally funny. Just a little bit.
You have any social pages for your goats? I'd love to follow them too.
We do. Actually, my oldest daughter runs the Wiley.farm Instagram.
Really?
And you can see all the goats, the cats, the rabbit, the dog, and Calvin, the Calvinist cow.
It was predestined for him to be a cow and a hamburger, right?
Yes. Well, he got off easy. He's a pet now.
Okay.
That's
good.
They will eat me before they eat him. It's
That's so funny. Ed Wiley, listen, Ed, we'd like to catch up with you in a couple of weeks. We understand we're still going to be in the same place, and we'll catch up with you. And blessings to Annie, the kids, and yourself. We love you to pieces.
You too, Rick, Dan. Thank you guys so much. Love you guys.
We appreciate it. Funny stuff. We need the laugh during this time, and that helps a lot. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
Ed
y'all.
Wiley, follow him, and we'll check back with him as you just heard in a few weeks. Hey, we'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.